very big event, and I think somehow it will coincide with some of the big developments in the infrastructure side.
Yeah, we are hoping to connect our devices to the infrastructures.
Let me ask you a few questions that I think comes to mind when you watch all this exciting development. 2020.
Yeah.
What do you think? What is Sony's identity in 2020?
Yeah, as I presented in the chart, Sony's mission is to fulfill and inspire the curiosity of the people in the global agencies. And we want customers to be excited every time to see our content or to access our services and also turn on our devices. And that kind of thing is unchanged. And on top of these missions, we are looking for some additional barriers or some barriers for the symbiosis, I should say, and to connect, to deliver a healthy or safe life in an eco-friendly way. That is an addition on top of the entertainment business.
Very interesting, and I think it coincides with many of the thoughts that we also have about the future cities and the building sustainable cities. I think we're going to see much of that development most likely in very big cities.
Yeah.
Sony is of course also a tremendous driving force in the development of television in the world.
Yes.
And or imaging, as you call it.
Yes.
When we are talking about this. Now, 3D TV did not become, I think, the kind of hit that was sort of expected. Maybe. How can we make sure now? I mean, you're the big driving force about 4K.
Yeah.
How can we make sure that we don't go the same phase with 4K?
Yes. And regarding 3D, I should touch on. And 3D is kind of an HD extension of the HD. It's kind of one application of the HD world. And if I touch upon 4K, 4K must be a next generation on top of HD. It's a completely different world. And we can deliver a lot of application on top of 4K world. And also, I need to touch upon 3D. 3D application is not only a consumer area, but also others, such as medical. It does matter for the 3D for the doctors to have some. There are some clinical benefits for the doctors to have 3D. And I'd like to expand the application from the core Cs to find out customer segment, variety of customer segments. And 4K, we are expecting very much, absolutely.
I think that's very exciting, and the whole notion of medical and remote operations will transform much of how high quality of service that can be delivered at a certain position. And you're understanding much more of that than we do in Ericsson. But I had the pleasure of visiting a university in San Diego the other day that demonstrated some of what can be done by remote operations. So it is a very, very, very important topic, I think, for the medical field. And that imaging can be used.
Exactly. And I'm in charge of the professional solutions, and that's where we are looking for some opportunity on medical area. And we made some joint venture between Sony and Ericsson, where we learned a lot about the requirements from the hospital and doctors. And I finally recognized that our value or content creation workflow will apply to the medical area, such as operational rules or education for the younger doctor students and so forth. And I definitely believe we can contribute.
Great. Now, shifting gears and topics.
Yes.
Yesterday we heard from BBC. Dan was here and talked about the opportunities of multi-screen experiences in connection with television. Do you see value and opportunities in multi-screen?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I stated about the value of symbiosis. And now you are looking for some community to communicate interactively. And also, they are looking for some dual communications. And we put the application of multi-view on these environment or community. And this is not one direction of data transfer. It's needed for the bi-directional data transfer. But where I can get help from your side, I do.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure that we're going to address that. And the networks, of course, being built with capabilities of multi-screen delivery with the same experience. So it's a combination, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, since we have you here, and we're very happy to have you here, we have to ask when, I have to ask because I'm wondering personally, when will 4K technology be available for homes? When will we, when can I buy it?
Okay, now, actually, if you go to the market, Sony has already delivered 4K ready TV Bravia and also 4K projector home projectors, which convert HD signal to a high resolution 4K formats. And you can enjoy the 4K quality in your home right now. And also, in this fall in US, we started 4K download service through our Sony network services, which contains approximately 100 contents by 4K, for pure 4K. And US customers now can enjoy the download of pure 4K contents through our service network. And one information for you in Japan, and we established Next TV Forum, supported by our Japanese government. And we started how we can start the commercial network streaming 4K services ready for the next World Cup game, which is next year, through satellite in the first phases. And also we won the game. We won the next Olympic game in Tokyo. Until then, we are looking forward to have some services, not only 4K, but 8K as well.
8K, we need to wait for 4K to come out.
It's not only through satellite, I believe. I need to find out another way to attract our customers. And also, it will give the customers, as I said, bi-directional information. That kind of things we are aiming for.
And of course, we in the networking business are going to look for every possible opportunity to be able to prepare the networks for such high resolution distribution.
Where we can compensate each other. I think there is no conflict between Ericsson and Sony, I believe.
Not at all. I have one, since I have it here, I have to ask you some also questions that I'm really curious about. There is a lot of talks about mobile devices and new opportunities in the device side, and we're moving even to wearables. So even clothes will contain small mobile phones in the future, maybe. So, which ones of these do you believe now are going to be hits? Of the Google Glass, or the 3Ds, or printers, or what do you think? Where do you think it hits?
Interesting questions. I don't know exactly. But we introduced the second version of a wearable watch type smart accessory connected through Bluetooth to our smartphones, and where you can watch the text and you can control the smartphone through Bluetooth. This is one of the trial or we need to execute to learn what is user experiences. It should be intuitive, where we need to improve user interfaces, and it should not be a game. That kind of things we need to learn from the reaction and feedback from our customers. And there are a lot of things to improve from a cloud-based solutions to connect some computing power from the cloud, which is infinite. And that kind of things we are researching right now.
Some really good takeaways there. Cloud computing is infinite. And the other one, which I think is very important there, is that how we do innovation. In the consumer industry, you want to innovate by learning, by seeing what works and what doesn't work. That's how you really create a good hit.
Yeah, very good questions. We Sony has to keep the innovative ideas. In order to drive the team, I personally believe two things. One is openness. We need to open our eyes. We need to be careful enough to be open to the society and to get some intuitive ideas or stimulation in our brain. And secondly, diversity. And we need to accept another cultures and genders and nationalities, whatever. And if we mix different culture, we can expect some positive chemical effect out of the mixtures. And that's where I believe. And also, I would endorse executions. And I would encourage my team to execute rather than wait and see what happens. Let's do it. And these kind of things, I would inject in my team as a culture basis.
It's very important. And you speak of personal experience. You have survived Sweden.
Yeah, I did it. But actually, I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much.
Did you survive winter in Sweden?
Oh, that was comfortable. A bit dark, of course, a bit dark, and a bit deep.
I don't even notice the dark anymore.
Thank you very much, Ulf and Himoto-san. Thank you very much. I hope that we may open questions.
Yes, please.
Give the room an opportunity to ask just a couple of questions. But Himoto-san does have other commitments, so it will be very brief. But let's see if we have already Mats Quidin, a Swedish friend. Perhaps you met him in Sweden, please? No?
I don't think we have met, but I'm from the Swedish newsletter, Telecom Nyheterna.
Yes.
Telecom News. So what's Sony's marketing plan for ICT?
ICT. Oh. Good questions. Since we have a variety of contents and a variety of products and network sounds as well, and utilizing these every single devices, it does not necessarily mean single products is only available for our customers, and we need to integrate these values through our infrastructure and through the network technologies. And that's where we are looking forward in IT products work.
Okay. Thank you for that question. And I'm scanning the room.
Hello.
Hello.
A question about the audio quality. You were suggesting that you're able to reproduce the audio up to 80 kilohertz compared to 20 kilohertz for an MP3 file. If you look at the average human being, I think above 10 kilohertz, the ears are cutting out. So what's the added value of expanding that bandwidth to this level to the average user?
You know well, and overall audio acoustic sound is limited until 20 kilohertz. And normal customers can hear kind of voice communication up to 10 kilohertz. But sound is not listened only from ears. Sound is accepted from your body or some atmosphere around you. And that will bring some value, I believe. And let's try it. Let's come on to Sony acoustic room to experience the sound of about 50 kilohertz or 100 kilohertz. And this is completely different. I don't have enough good ears, but I can feel it. You can feel it.
That's interesting about the senses. And earlier you said how 4K is more than the human eye.
Yeah.
It's interesting with the sensory expansion. I see a question here. Great.
I would like to ask, how do you stay innovative as a company? How do you stay innovative?
Stay innovative.
Stay innovative.
How to stay innovative.
Oh, personally, would like to keep my curiosity and would like to keep my broader networks touching, as I said, to stimulate or to keep my heart innovative enough. Is that the correct answer?
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Himoto-san and
It's my pleasure.
Ewa-san. Appreciate your